ho, ho.
Happy holidays, everyone, and welcome to the Christmas-ish version. Is it like holiday-ish version or Christmas-ish?
Something like that. Yeah. I mean, I'm calling it the XmasCast.
The XmasCast?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just like, here's the lowdown. We almost weren't even going to do an episode this week. We were like, because it happened to fall on Christmas Eve, the uploading date. So we're like, a lot of people will miss the upload, and I normally never upload on holidays for that reason. But then we were like, it'd be fun to just like have something really mellow, low key, and something related to like the holiday vibes. Even if, not everyone out there is, I guess we're not Christian either though. So we're like one of those people that just celebrates it for just because it's
tradition.
Fun.
I mean, it's just tradition.
Just because it's Santa's day, Santa's birthday or something, right? I don't know.
Whoa.
I'm just kidding. Okay, but for real, I've just been feeling so awful the last couple days. It actually started yesterday morning. Like my whole jaw locked up, which I guess is something that happens with autoimmune disease, is you can end up with like TMJ. I might have TMJ, I don't know, but my jaw hurts so bad, so I have an ice pack. So if you see me like icing my jaw, and then I'm not doing, even though this is a ponder session, I normally do read half of it. Josh is going to read the whole thing today because my mouth literally hurts from talking. My eyes hurt right now because I just filmed a video and ended up like crying during it. I'm just a mess. So it's good we're not doing anything too serious today. We're doing something really fun and chill, and just, we thought you guys would enjoy something a little more relaxed.
Yeah, exactly.
For the holidays.
There's
the last one of the year.
There's really no agenda for today. It's just going to be, we're just going to wing it. No, I'm just kidding. We have some things organized. But yeah, so today will be really chill. Hopefully you guys enjoy. The holidays are always busy. So, we just wanted to put something out there for you to listen to while you're baking those Christmas cookies tomorrow or I guess today. But yeah, so today we are going to be talking about some different things related to Christmas, as well as some interesting news stories from this week. This week's Patron question is actually very interesting as well. And it says, "Hey guys, my name is Miranda B. And my question is, do you guys think that with our generation of people becoming more woke, spiritual, but not religious, and more curious about the earth and our universe, that we are coming closer to being a type 1 civilization?" Fucking love these questions you guys send in.
I know. Seriously, I was just about to say, like, I kind of was nervous to even ask for questions at the beginning. So I was like, what if they like write kind of dumb ones? Like, no offense, but what if they were like,
no, most of them have been like really deep, which is great because
good, like topics for conversation.
Exactly. Or I love that you guys are watching our episodes and then you're coming up with questions based upon what you learned in them. Like clearly, she's talking about a type 1 civilization. What does that mean? Where did we even talk about that in the past? I think it was all the way back to like the very beginning.
Yeah. Well, we've mentioned it a lot because it's like one of my favorite things to bring up. I think it's so interesting. It's
a part of the Kardashev scale, if you don't know what that is, but
it's I guess a theoretical scale.
Yeah.
Created by this, what is he, a scientist?
Yeah.
Kardashev. And of like what the different levels of societies would be. And according to him, we are type 0. We don't even get on the scale.
Right. Based upon like everything encompassing what a civilization is, technology, science,
working
medicine,
together,
to
communication.
People. Exactly. Like spiritual aspects, and just being connected with the planet that you're on, because the Kardashev scale can be measured across all types of civilizations, all types
like
of
a wokeness scale
of species, extraterrestrial species out there.
Woke scale? What do you think?
So what do you think? Are we coming closer to being a type 1 civilization?
I think so.
Because people
definitely are
waking up. You agree?
I think
You're shaking your head yes.
Because I already said yes. I do. I mean, I think it's taking a long ass time, but like we're getting there, I think. But we're gonna need something like big to happen. Like we are going to need to like have disclosure before anything like that happens, I think.
And what do you mean by disclosure?
Like people are gonna need to know that there's aliens.
Okay, sure. No, I 100% agree with that. I think that in order to be a type 1 civilization, we needed the internet for one. I don't think we could ever get there without the internet. Just because if you look at how much the internet has impacted civilization as a whole, how it's opened us up to so many things we didn't know, allows people to post whatever they want, and it's opened up information that we wouldn't have had otherwise prior to the internet, like,
yeah.
But the main thing with like becoming a type 1 civilization is like our technologies and things like that are just, we're still running off fossil fuels. We're still using the same technology that was developed 100 years ago. Airplanes are still relatively the same. So it's like, what is it going to take for us to move to the next level where we're using, different types of energies that are out there and, anti-gravity type things. So I think we're getting very close. I think we're very close to moving into a type 1 civilization, which is being able to
I'd say
utilize
give us like 200 years.
the Earth's energy.
What do you think? 200 years?
200 years till then?
Yeah.
No.
That's my guesstimate.
I think it'll be in our
Maybe
lifetime.
200 or 300.
Hopefully.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think so.
No?
I think you think
moving
things are going to happen so fast.
It could,
Think
though.
about how long life is, Josh. Like how many years have gone on? Like why would all of a sudden it happen really fast? Like all this development.
Because if you look at how everything has changed over the years, it multiplies at a faster rate.
I know, but still.
Look at computers.
I know, but still. Like to get to that point, type 1, where that means we have like a united world government. We have all one religion.
New World Order, basically.
Yeah, New World
Order. Which is
Order.
interesting. Which is an interesting angle to look at it from, is like you just said, part of being a type 1 civilization is kind of having everybody come together globally and become one, one people, one religion.
That's the most interesting part of it to me.
But that is exactly like what people believe the New World Order is. And, maybe the New World Order isn't a sinister thing. Maybe it's more of a
maybe it's
collective humanity type, run thing. So I don't know. It's really interesting. But I think it all hinges on aliens. I think at the end of the day, all of this hinges on whether or not we 100% know for a fact that extraterrestrials are here, they're visiting us, we have their technology, we've reverse engineered their technology, which shout out Bob Lazar. There's that new documentary. Yeah. We're going to do an episode upcoming in the next couple of weeks on Bob Lazar, Area 51, and his whole
the second
experience.
One of 2019.
Yes, because it's very interesting. There's a new documentary that just came out. It's really good. That talks about all of that. But according to him, we have, reclaimed extraterrestrial craft technology, back engineered it, and it's just being held secret, covered up, kept from the rest of the public. So I think us becoming a type 1 civilization all hinges on how long they can keep this cover up of the UFO alien thing going.
Yeah, agree.
I think it's all contingent on that, because if the technology's there, if it's real,
pretty much
that will revolutionize everything. Yeah. Imagine boarding a flight, and instead of getting in an airplane, you're getting into a flying saucer. You have to harness in. You have to put a little like space helmet on.
Imagine the complaints that will come in then.
Hey,
I have no room. My helmet is too small.
But literally, what if in the future you want to go to, let's say, Europe, you hop in this flying saucer, and then literally beep boop beep, few buttons they push,
beep boop beep,
and then your craft literally makes a tear in space-time, travels through it, through another dimension, pops out on the other side.
Damn, Josh.
In Europe within like a few minutes or less.
Wow.
That's the possibilities.
That is the possibility.
Sounds fucking crazy, but it's true.
Mm-hmm. It is true.
So, yes, I think we're becoming closer. She said, I think the reason people are becoming more sensitive about a lot of things are because we are waking up and realizing how the media and government has controlled our thoughts and feelings for so long without us knowing it.
I agree. Sorry, that was a very weird.
I
do that so much in the podcast. I drive myself crazy. But yes, I agree. I think the same thing. She said, sorry if this makes no sense.
Higher ramblings. Hell yeah. Higher thoughts.
No, I agree that I think a lot of people if this has been a very sensitive time. And I think people are like,
But it's because we're able to look at everything through an objective lens. We're not forced to one form of media. Like back in the 1950s, you go get your fucking newspaper and get your news. Like,
and you're connected to more people that are questioning the same things as you, so you don't feel as alone.
There's communities for everything.
Changed everything. That's been like probably the biggest thing of this century.
Yeah, between Reddit and WikiLeaks and all these other websites. I mean, you can be a whistleblower, you can be an insider, you can be a hacker, you can be all these different things and release very, critical information to the internet anonymously that you would have never been like, how did like a hacker have been able to do that back in like 1945? They can't hack the newspaper. They wouldn't be able to leak that information the same. So it's opened us up to this whole, Pandora's box here to a whole nother dimension. So
it's a whole bitch for them to deal with.
Yeah.
For them. I always just say them. Y'all know who I'm talking about though. What?
Well, it's like and that's why it's so important that we keep the internet open and free and make sure that the governments of the world don't decide to censor certain things like they have been this past year, censoring various types of channels and stuff, trying to clean up fake news and all that kind of stuff, which, we all know there's fake news, but there's also a lot of things that are getting, sort of wiped off of the face of the internet that maybe shouldn't be. So we have to be wary of that. And like, I know a lot of you were asking us about Article 13, which let's all hope that doesn't fucking come to fruition, because that's going to really hinder what people can upload in the EU. So that's going to be a fucking disaster for all of us. I mean,
I've been reading about that.
Creators in the UK especially, but anywhere like, like you guys that are over, and like we have a huge audience in the UK and, in that area, and you guys may not be able to like listen to certain things if YouTube deems it copyright. It's just like this whole mess of things that they're trying to do. So hopefully that doesn't fucking pass. But so that's my rant on that. But let's get into this week's stories. Thank you, Morgan. Today's first story is Gatwick Airport drone chaos. This is fucking nuts, man. I'm sure you've heard of this. I'm sure all of you know.
Wait,
what?
Maybe. I don't think so.
Dude, one of the largest, Britain's second largest airport had to shut down. It's like up to 5 times, but 3 days last week completely, because unidentified drones is what they're calling them, have been flying over the airport and over like into the runways and shit like that.
Oh, wow.
And they don't know who they are. They have no idea who's operating the drones. And this has been going on since last week, and even up to today is still happening, and they still haven't been able to completely deal with it.
So, okay. So my first question is, we have a drone, and when we fly our drone into area that is airspace control, a place, you can't do it. Like, it literally shuts off. If you try to fly, it'll stop and just like stay in the air until it dies, pretty much. Like, it will not. So how the fuck is this happening?
Well, we don't know what kind of drones they are. We don't even know if they're drones altogether. I guess you
could program your own drone.
Well,
so
what you could
to buy one from like one of those brands that have that, or do they all?
No. Well, that's the thing, is like you could probably get a drone that doesn't have the limitations that like the Digi drones have, where you can't fly in like if I were to like, I can't fly my drone next to an Air Force base because it's restricted airspace. So like if I tried to, like Kendall said, it would just. It may not even take off if I was in it, but if I was outside of it, I could take off. But as soon as I try to go there, it would just stall it.
Like so one time we were in Florida and we were really close to Universal, and we were like, let's get a cool drone shot of like kind of outside of Universal and just of downtown Orlando. So we like pulled over to this field. We thought we were like all good. Josh like goes out and does the drone. All of a sudden the thing stops. It completely froze up there, and Josh is like, I'm sitting in the car, like just watching Josh freak out. He's like looking up like, oh my God. I was having a
mini panic attack.
I think you were having a panic attack. I had to come calm you down. So like run over to him, and it was just frozen there because there was like a helicopter tour ride thing nearby that we didn't know about, and that was restricted airspace. So Josh flew into the restricted airspace, and it doesn't let you go into it. So right before he was about to get into that area, it just completely froze. And so we had like 10 minutes of footage of it just like sitting there.
Yeah.
And Josh was so panicked because he's like, is it going to die and just fall out of the sky? But I mean, the technology is pretty cool. It just, when it ran out of battery, it just flew home and landed itself. Josh had no control over it. So it was kind of crazy. Like, we were worried it was going to fall out of the sky and like fucking kill someone or hit somebody.
Or like the worst case scenario is the helicopter flies into it or something, or it like fucks something up and brings it down like that. I mean, not that would probably happen, but fuck, I mean, that would be crazy. Scary. It scares you because I would be held liable and I'd go to fucking prison.
You're very cautious with it too. And so that
I don't take risks with it,
especially since that, like, we're double checking everything, but
that's what's so crazy about this ongoing fiascos, because we still don't know what types of drones they are. They've only recovered one of them that was damaged. And so they're now trying, what you can do is you can actually pinpoint, with a lot of work, you can pinpoint where the person flying it is from, but they could be far away. Like, these drones nowadays can go like a mile down. Like, you could be like, or maybe even more, you could be hundreds or maybe even thousands of yards away from the airport and fly it in there and be way far away. And then, oh shit, they shot it down. Then you just take off and they would never find you. Like, so that's the thing with this, is they have not found anybody. They arrested this couple, this 47-year-old man and 54-year-old woman from Crawley. And they actually searched these guys' house, but they came out and said that after investigating them, they clearly weren't suspects anymore in this thing. So there's nobody else has been arrested. They're offering a 50,000 pound reward for information leading to the capture. Because
they're worried. Yeah,
this is disrupting so many, like, flights are getting like, I can't even imagine
the airlines,
how pissed people are.
Oh yeah,
people are like sitting in planes for hours and hours and hours because it's grounded. They won't let them take off.
Oh, that's
so you just have to
annoying.
sit there on the runway.
We've had to do that, but not for that long.
140,000 passengers stranded.
Damn, dude, that's crazy.
This is the biggest disruption since the Icelandic volcanic ash cloud of 2010.
The hell. So is there any chance this could be like not a drone? It could be like a UFO or something?
That's funny you bring that up.
Anything juicy like that?
No, it's funny you bringing that up because, there's one drone expert that believes it might be UFOs, which UFOs is just unidentified flying objects. So I don't know if that means saucers or what, because
spies.
We don't know what kinds of drones they are. They haven't identified it. They don't know what it is. But the fact that they're just like, they like come in and then they just disappear out of nowhere. Like, they just kind of like vanish, it seems like. And it seems to me like if these were just like ordinary ass drones, like, I feel like they would have been able to deal with these by now. And like, how many can these guys possibly have, like, of these drones that they can continuously bring them in there? But that's the whole thing with this, is that the police don't have any way. Like, you could try to shoot real bullets at them and try to shoot out of the air, but that creates all kinds of problems. You can't have just like bullets flying everywhere.
Near the airport. That's hard.
Exactly. So the only thing you can do is get special technology. Like, there's actually like drone guns, like drone sniper guns that can laser beam the shit, or they can even like hack it, figure out the radio frequency and hack it. But that's what they're trying to do now. They're bringing the military and everything. They're trying to get some specialty equipment to try to capture these drones, because still going on. They still don't know what the fuck's going on. Because, I mean, they're worried that one of these drones might get too close to a plane taking off, and shit, if that goes into the engine the right way or something and causes a little explosion, I mean, who knows? I mean, and who knows what these drones are carrying? These drones could be carrying bombs for all we know. They could have explosives in them. So they can't obviously, just take off and land with these potential, hazards flying around. So I don't know. I thought that was really interesting, and it's been causing quite a stir. And if you guys are over there in the UK, I'm sure you guys have heard all about this, and I'm sure there's people fuming. Maybe you were at the airport when this was going on. So,
oh damn, yeah, let us know.
A lot of people thought, oh, terrorism, like this is some type of terrorism thing, but there's no indications that it is, or maybe it's Russia or some foreign power that's trying to interfere. So, there's a lot of people that are just making guesses as to who's flying these drones. everything from, it being a UFO of some sort, environmental activists, which I don't really know how.
Someone said a hobbyist doing it for YouTube hits.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
But like they would have posted it by now because the story's already gone viral.
Yeah. And why keep doing it? Why wouldn't it just get in, get out,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's true.
But
yeah. And where's your YouTube hits then?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. So this professional drone pilot said, it is definitely something that is more organized in some capacity because obviously the drones that I fly and the drones that most people fly in the UK have this geofencing and we can't get them to take off that close to an airport. So that's why they're assuming that it might be hackers of some sort that have hacked these drones and sort of bypassed all of this, precautionary software, geofencing, that sort of thing. So I don't know, but what's their point? Just for fun? This is just like a big prank. Flying drones over the busiest airport.
Yeah, but like they would have already posted it because the moment for it to go viral has already happened. Like it's already been in the news.
Yeah, and you're going to get fucking caught and probably arrested for this.
Yeah, there's no way.
You're going to be held liable for millions of dollars that is being...
Wouldn't it be funny if it was like Logan Paul? He's like, all right, guys, you caught me.
Casey Neistat or something.
It was fucking Casey.
But anyways,
if anyone could pull it off, it'd be him probably. That dude knows how to fly a fucking drone.
He does. I wouldn't be able to do that.
No. You'd have a panic attack.
I would be just shitting my pants the whole time. I'd be like, oh my God. Oh my God. Too close. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens with that. But some other news that happened this week in the US, I'm sure around the world you guys hear about what our president is up to these days, and it's always quite juicy. But actually, some good news to report for Mr. President this week is that he officially signed the new farm bill, which is very good news. This will basically legalize industrial hemp in the United States once again. So this is great news. And we talked about this in our Cannabis Conspiracy podcast, which if you haven't seen that, highly recommend you listen to that one, because we talk all about hemp and how hemp could literally replace so many different things in our world that is useful to our daily lives and save the planet at the same time.
Yeah.
So he actually signed this farm bill, which will allow farmers to start growing hemp again without issue throughout the entire United States. So we won't have to import hemp from the UK anymore or EU anymore, which is great. Which, for those of you that don't know what hemp is a part of the cannabis plant family, but the hemp family or the hemp plant contains less than 0.3% THC.
So it should lower the price of hemp products, do you think? Maybe like hemp lotions and stuff?
I think it will, because we've had to import a lot of it. So a lot of companies that use hemp products, they have to import that. So they're paying an import-export type thing. Man,
hemp products are so good, but like they're not always affordable. Like we love the literally it's called Hemps with the Z, the lotion that's made with hemp seed oil. And of course hemp bombs too. Yeah, hemp bombs, of course, but like just the lotion that we love. I mean, it doesn't have any it doesn't have CBD in it. It's just hemp. No. I'm saying like products with just hemp in it, because hemp is very hydrating, extremely good for your skin. But that lotion is so pricey. It's like $13, $14, $15 a bottle. So it'd be nice if like prices for it could overall go down, because it should be something that like everyone can afford. What I'm trying to say. It's so good.
It is. It's every hemp product that I've used is so good. Mm-hmm. You can use it. The hemp oil is really, really healthy for you, for nutrients and all that kind of thing for your body. So no, I think absolutely that we're going to see a lot more hemp farming going on, and because and I think another good thing is it's going to kind of help, fuel the legalization of marijuana and the rest of cannabis. I think is what's going to happen. Like we were just in North Carolina, and it's always so bizarre to some extent being in another state, especially one so different from Colorado, going down to the South and, East Coast area, and just being there and being around people that have such a different opinion about marijuana, and it's highly illegal there. And,
it's weird.
I went in Charlotte, I went to a CBD dispensary. I was blown away because they treated CBD hemp just like they treat marijuana here in Colorado, where it's like behind a locked door. You got to show your ID. You got to be over 18 and everything just to buy CBD and hemp flower and things like that. And I just thought that was so bizarre. And I'm like, why do you guys do why do you guys have to do this?
When Josh told me that, I like almost didn't even believe it. I was like, that's all they're selling that is so weird.
Which I mean, it was like a ton of CBD stuff, but CBD has no psychoactive properties to it. So it's
literally like natural. It's like aloe.
Yeah, it would be like going to, any other type of holistic store.
Honestly, it's like buying fucking oregano or something. Like, it's literally an herb. It's a plant. It's plant medicine. It's like essential oils or any other type of plant medicine. I just don't understand. Especially aloe is a good comparison. It's for healing benefits.
True.
From plants. Yeah. That's like what it's for.
Yeah. So I just thought that was really interesting, and it was just kind of bizarre because I was like, yeah, back at home I can, walk in and buy, an ounce of marijuana and walk out, and it's no big deal. But here it's like, just to get some CBD, it was a CBD vape pen. I had to fill out all these forms and everything. And it's like, Jesus.
And then remember the dude was like trying to tell you some shit like.
Oh yeah. Well, I think they were totally like being taught to sell just CBD and hemp, because I started talking to him I started talking to the guy working there, and I was like, hey, I'm from Colorado, and he seemed very unimpressed for some reason. But I was like, I was just like, yeah, it's kind of, I was just kind of weird. But he totally was judgmental about marijuana. It was crazy. He was like, wow, this is so much better than, the marijuana you can buy on the streets and stuff. And he's like,
we don't buy it on the streets. It's called the dispensary.
He's like, this stuff doesn't get you high like that does. And basically just dismissing, obviously has no clue, probably doesn't even smoke marijuana.
Yeah, there's so much research to back up just like how much THC actually helps CBD work better for people.
And THC on its own. Well, that was,
my grandpa was literally prescribed a tiny bit of THC just to kickstart his CBD.
Yeah, well, that's why they pair them up together, because they work better together.
Right.
And that's what I told this guy. This guy was trying to tell me that marijuana has no medicinal benefits to it.
LOL,
that
dude.
CBD is the only thing that is good, and that we shouldn't even be using marijuana essentially. And I was like, actually, I think THC actually has a lot of medicinal benefits.
It does. Oh my gosh.
And he got all bitchy with me after that. And I was like, okay, dude, do your research, man. But I don't know. I just thought that was interesting, and I think with hemp being legalized across the country again, I think hopefully cannabis can start catching up, because what the hell? Why is it legal in Canada, not here? What the hell? All right. Well, the other thing that Trump did is he signed an executive order on this past Tuesday for the creation of the U.S. Space Command, which the Space Command, or the idea of it, is to streamline command and control of time-sensitive operations and to consolidate space operations under a single authority, under a newly created Space Command. It would also be a response to what news outlets have called a space arms race. U.S. politicians have raised concerns, for example, over world powers like China and Russia developing possible anti-satellite technology. So this finally got signed in, and now we just have to get it through Congress in order to get funding and all that kind of stuff for it. But it's this whole idea of a space force and space command, and actually having a military branch dedicated to space is just such an interesting concept to think about. Because it's like, are they really doing this for this space arms race? This anti-satellite technology that China and Russia are, which they are putting these types of things, possibly even satellites that are equipped as weapons, into space. So do we need to have some type of space force, which we don't even have spaceships that can really fly around in outer space. So it's the space force is going to be working on the surface of the planet. What's the point of it? That's true.
That is true. But I feel like we want to have it prepared for when we do, if we were to discover that there were alien beings, don't you think we should kind of be ready?
Yeah. Well, that's the other side to it is maybe they're doing this sort of in preparation.
Yeah, that's what I think that it's
in
for.
preparation for an alien invasion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's like that. A lot of people think it's like super wasteful, and I totes getcha. And if only like money was unlimited. But I do think this is like important.
I do too, honestly. Like, I'm surprised we don't have something like this already. Like,
I think people just think it sounds wacky because Trump's put his name attached to it. They're probably like, if anyone's wacky enough to get this through, it's Donald Trump. Because people be like, oh, he's just like Donald Trump making a space force. Like, if any other president tried to do this, they'd be like, what? Like, imagine if like Obama tried to make a space force.
Yeah.
The shit he would get. But for Trump, it's kind of like, all right, it's just another day.
And we're like, at least it's not
slipping by, you know.
At least it's not this, you know.
Yeah,
it's
it's like the least of whatever.
Tearing the country apart, you know.
Yeah, so I don't know though. I think it's like important.
I do too, because when you think about the bigger picture here, that you know there is extraterrestrial life out there, and maybe they are observing or contacting us. And what if there's this what if of what if there is an alien species out there that is fucking just evil, man? What if they want to destroy us? What if they want to attack? It sounds like some science fiction shit, but it's possible. Anything's possible. Anybody that's like, oh, aliens would be too far evolved to want to attack us, but it's like, I believe there's good and evil out there no matter where you're at. And why wouldn't there be some type of evil alien species out there? Or what if we have a treaty with them right now, and once that treaty expires, it's all hands on deck, to defend Earth,
Yeah.
What if we end up having to defend Earth from something? Or
exactly, like we should probably be ready. But I do understand that like money doesn't grow on trees. We got to prioritize. Yeah.
Which they're not even giving them that.
No, it's not that much money. It's $800 million over 5 years.
So just to get this groundwork for the Space Force. So we still got.
Is that for space? Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm just making sure. So 13. Oh no. So it is. It's 13 billion for the Space Force over 5 years.
Right.
What is 800 million?
No, it'll be 800 million over 5 years just to get the space. So the Space Command is like separate from the Space Force. The Space Command is like the framework for the Space Force. Makes sense. So it's going to cost that just to get the Space Command.
Oh, wow.
And then to get the actual Space Force, it's going to be a decent amount of money.
I honestly feel that they've probably already had this going for a while, that it didn't just start. And maybe, this is like kind of a way of disclosing it. Because I feel like they didn't just start doing space army stuff. Like we know how much money has been going secretly into the military, into undisclosed projects and stuff.
Yeah, I think there absolutely could be a secret space program out there that is unacknowledged, that has been doing things in outer space to all sorts of capacities, and we just haven't known about it. Like, it would be completely possible. I mean, why the fuck haven't we gone back to the moon? Like, what the hell? Yeah. We went to the moon, and then we came back, and we're like, all right, we saw everything we saw to see,
We saw everything we wanted to see.
So we're coming home, and we're never going back. Yeah. Or, there's more to the story there that we don't know, which seems more likely to me, since literally they're covering up so many things, and we get little tidbits and pieces that trickle out through various methods that reveal things that were like, holy shit, that was actually going on. Like the fucking CIA doing the remote controlled dogs and all that shit last week. So I wouldn't put it past anybody or anything for them to have some sort of secret space program or military out there. So I don't know. Thought that was interesting. But before we get into talking about some just interesting shit about Christmas and just kicking it with our dogs and talking about some of that shit, want to thank our first sponsor today, Burrow. The holiday season is here, and whether you're hosting the entire extended family or just a few friends, you'll need a cozy seat for everyone. Very important. There's no better time to replace your worn-out hand-me-down couch with a super comfortable, high-quality, and stylish Burrow sofa. Burrow is a really cool website. You can pick Basically, it allows you to customize your sofa, make it as big as you want, as little as you want, lets you change the armrests. It's got a modular design, so you can have like, that comes in like separate pieces, so you can put like 2 together for a love seat or 3 together for a couch, or build like all these different configurations and
really
choose
nice.
Different colors, different fabric. It's actually really cool. And the shipping is fast and free. It's durable. It's sustainably sourced, and it's easy to set up. And the fabric is very comfortable, as naturally scratch and stain resistant. It's pet friendly.
Ooh.
And it's one of Time Magazine's best inventions of 2018, actually.
The pet friendly thing, that is very appealing.
Yeah, isn't it? But they're designed for comfort. They're exactly 17 inches off the floor, because that's the average height from the bottom of a person's foot to the back of their knee. They include a built-in USB charger, which is really cool. So you'll never have to get up.
You'll never
have to get up.
So then you can plug into your virtual reality game and never move again.
Put your virtual reality headset and just live there. You can burrow into your couch, which I love to burrow into my couch. I like the name.
Yeah.
I love the
like
name
the name
burrow.
burrow too. That's
burrow.
cute.
You like to burrow in.
Because doesn't that always sound cute? Like animals have their burrows.
Yeah,
I'm
it
always
sounds
like,
cozy.
I want to go back to my burrow.
Like they said, it's comfy, cozy. You burrow it.
You burrow in it.
But there's 4 unique collections: bohemian, industrial, mid-century, modern, or rustic farmhouse. So you can. There's all sorts of different styles that will match everyone's taste. So make a resolution in favor of comfort and convenience for the new year, and save up to $500 on a new Burrow sofa by visiting burrow.com/milehigher. That's burrow.com/milehigher to save up to $500 on your sofa. Thanks again to Burrow for supporting the show. That is pretty sweet. All right. Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
So yeah, we celebrate Christmas, and we just thought, what do we know about Christmas? Not shit. I didn't know too much, because you always get the story of Christmas usually from your parents. Your parents tell you what Christmas is about, or maybe
whatever holiday
Charlie Brown Christmas teaches you what Christmas is about. But where did the word Christmas actually come from? Why do we say Christmas? Do you know?
Mm-mm.
Believe it or not, Christmas is a shortened form of Christmas. Christmas.
Yeah, that would make sense. I was about to say, is it Christmas?
Christmas. Merry Christmas. It is derived from the Middle English Christmas, which is an Old English word that was first recorded in 1038, followed by the second variation of the word in 1131. So this goes back very, very far back. In Old English, Yule referred to the period corresponding to December and January, which was eventually equated with Christian Christmas. Noel entered English in the late 14th century and is from the Old French Noel itself, ultimately from the Latin meaning birthday. All right, so obviously, I think most of us know the actual story of Christmas, especially the biblical story, because at the end of the day, the Christmas for many is, a religious holiday in some fashion, because we're talking about the birth of Jesus, which did you grow up knowing about that story?
Oh yeah. Well, my parents thought it was important that I understood what it was. Yeah, but we weren't religious, but my parents still brought us almost pretty much every year that I could remember. I went to church and went to the family service. It was low key. It was under an hour, kids singing, but they did the whole, story of Bethlehem, the whole story.
So you went through the whole Christmas story of Jesus is born in Bethlehem to Mary, and then so all of that.
Yeah, I know the songs. I know what happened. The wise men and the angel.
Little town of Bethlehem. I mean, we all know the Christmas carols. Shit, they've been pounded into my brain forever.
Dude. And I sing them all year round. I really do.
So, what's interesting to me though is that we celebrate Christmas on December 25th because that's Jesus' birthday, right?
Wrong.
Which is not right. Yeah.
No.
We don't know what his birthday is.
I've heard it's July. I thought it was July something.
It's speculative because we don't even know exactly when Jesus was around, like for sure. I don't think we even know definitively the dates that Jesus was on the planet, or if he was on the planet at all, for all we know.
Oh, damn. Don't even say that.
Here's the Christmas conspiracy, guys. Jesus never existed.
Oh, my God.
No, that's seriously the conspiracy.
There's so much like documented stuff of him. He was clearly a real person.
Are you sure he wasn't just a mythical being like Zeus from Greek mythology?
Well, I feel like if he was a mythical being, they would have like gotten a little more creative with it. He would have had some like powers on Earth.
He did have some fucking powers.
Oh yeah, he did, huh? He could
turn water to wine and healed the sick and the blind.
No, but like something cooler. Why didn't he have like some like arrows on his back like Zeus did? Some lightning bolts. You know,
he could shoot lightning out of his fingers or something.
No, but I'm saying I think there's well documented history of Jesus being a real person. Like most historians say he was a real person.
Yeah, because I mean, I think we know that like Mary, his mother, was real, and you know, I think if anybody's got the history on this, it's probably the Catholic Church. Probably has that shit archived somewhere. You know,
deep in there,
deep within their miles of underground tunnels filled with who knows what. But yeah, so it's just interesting that we, you know, settled on December 25th, because a lot of people think that, which the whole idea of like the virgin birth and all of that is still very interesting to me. You know, something I've never been able to fully accept, of like, you know, Mary conceived Jesus like from God. And if Jesus was born on December 25th, then he would have been conceived during the spring equinox, so like March. If he developed as like a normal, like, that's a whole thing, right? It's all this debate of whether Jesus was some type of
supernatural
God, otherworldly being, or he was just a normal dude. And that's the debate, but we're not debating today.
No, please no.
You know me, I always love to debate Christianity.
Tired.
But where does Santa come into the picture? The idea of Santa Claus is an interesting one. The legend of Santa Claus can actually be traced back hundreds of years to a monk named Saint Nicholas. It is believed that Nicholas was born sometime around 280 AD in Patara, near Myra, in modern-day Turkey. Much admired for his pity and kindness, Saint Nicholas became the subject of many legends. It is said that he gave away all of his inherited wealth and traveled the countryside helping the poor and sick. Kind of sounds like Jesus.
Or Santa.
Yeah, or Santa, exactly. But one of the best known St. Nicholas stories is that he saved 3 poor sisters from being sold into slavery or prostitution by their father. So sex trafficking, essentially. The father's trying to sell these 3 sisters into prostitution by providing them with a dowry so that he could be married. Over the course of many years, Nicholas's popularity spread and became known as the protector of children and sailors. His feast day is celebrated on the anniversary of his death, December 6th. This was traditionally considered a lucky day to make large purchases or to get married. By the Renaissance, St. Nicholas was the most popular saint in Europe. Even after the Protestant Reformation, when the veneration of saints began to be discouraged, St. Nicholas maintained a positive reputation, especially in Holland. That's interesting. I wonder if anybody's still like, you know, like, I wonder if anybody out there like prays to Saint Nicholas.
Interesting. That would be.
Because that's the whole thing with Catholicism, is that you can pray to different saints for different things.
Is there a number of saints? Like
There's
total?
a lot. I don't know the number. It's a lot though.
Yeah, I've always been curious about that. I don't know much about Catholicism.
Well, we'll put it on the list. Catholicism and the Vatican.
I find it so interesting.
It is very interesting. I love just looking at religions now from like this perspective of not being in one or a part of one, but examining all of them from just an outside perspective. I just find it so interesting.
Yeah. That's why there's like so many classes and stuff like that. I've always wanted to take a religious studies class, but I was an elementary ed major. So like, oh my gosh, all my classes were so laid out for me. I didn't get to take anything that was just like by choice, but I wanted to take religious studies so bad. Everyone I knew that took it was just so interested in it.
Yeah, no, that's what I've heard too. If honestly, I would go back and do like philosophy or something. I would find like learning about all the different philosophers Nostradamus and Hermes and Plato and all these famous philosophers.
Yeah, dude, they knew some shit.
They knew a lot of things. The wisdom they had is crazy. But anyway, St. Nicholas made his first inroads into American popular culture towards the end of the 18th century. And in December 1773 and again in 1774, a New York newspaper reported that groups of Dutch families had gathered to honor the anniversary of his death. The name Santa Claus evolved from Nick's Dutch nickname Sinterklaas, a shortened form of St. Nicholas.
Sinterklaas.
St. Nicholas.
St. Nicholas.
So this is just explaining how Santa Claus, like how this becomes such a huge thing. Like Santa Claus is like the face for Christmas now.
Yeah.
So like it's interesting to know, how did that develop? How did we get here?
Yeah.
So in 1804, John Petard, a member of the New York Historical Society. Pintard. What did I say? Petard?
Yeah, that was funny. It just sounded funny.
Just reminded me of The Hangover. Funny movie, by the way. But John Pintard, a member of the New York Historical Society, distributed woodcuts of St. Nicholas at the Society's annual meeting. The background of the engraving contains now familiar Santa images, including stockings filled with toys and fruit hung over a fireplace. In 1809, Washington Irving helped to popularize the Sinterklaas stories when he referred to St. Nicholas as the patron saint of New York in his book, The History of New York. As his prominence grew, Sinterklaas was described as everything from a rascal with blue three-cornered hat, red waistcoat, and yellow stockings.
A rascal.
Yeah, to a man wearing a broad-brimmed hat and a huge pair of Flemish trunk hose. Don't even know what that is.
Like hose or like pantyhose.
The hell?
Like over your whole legs. So he wore pantyhose.
Yeah. So how did that version of Santa Claus evolve into the modern day Santa that we have now? So that happened. Way different now. It is. It's way different now. It's very commercialized too. So gift giving, which is obviously centered around children, has been an important part of the Christmas celebration since the holidays' rejuvenation in the early 19th century. Stores began to advertise Christmas shopping in 1820, and by the 1840s, newspapers were creating separate sections for holiday advertisements, which often featured images of the newly popular Santa Claus. So this is going all the way back to the early 1800s. Like,
wow.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's really old. I thought it kind of got popular like during like around Thanksgiving, when Thanksgiving got popular, which was like the Great Depression.
No, this is before.
Way before that. Yeah, I didn't realize it was like really popular at that point though.
It was. In fact, in 1841, thousands of children visited a Philadelphia shop to see a life-size Santa Claus model. It was only a matter of time before stores began to attract children and their parents with the lure of a peek at a live Santa Claus, which still goes on today. People still bring their kids to the mall to meet Santa Claus to this day. But it wasn't until the early 1890s that the Salvation Army needed money to pay for the free Christmas meals they provided to needy families, so they began dressing up unemployed men in Santa Claus suits and sending them into the streets of New York to solicit donations. Obviously, those familiar with Salvation Army Santas have been ringing bells on the streets and corners of American cities ever since. So over 100 years, like people dressed up as Santas, ringing the bells. You always see them at, grocery stores and stuff in the U.S. You see around this time of year, which is kind of weird. I haven't seen any this year. I don't know. I feel like they're kind of fading out a little bit, but
yeah. It's interesting though. Like Santa wasn't really like Santa as we know it until Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola was actually really responsible for like the final version of Santa Claus that society accepted. Because one of their like original drawings was one of the first ones of him being depicted how he was with like the cherry cheeks and just the whole Santa getup. So it's interesting how Christmas is so commercial.
It is.
Thanksgiving I don't know if you guys saw my video on it, but Thanksgiving was basically officially made a holiday to encourage the shopping for Christmas, to give people more time for Christmas shopping, kind of start the holiday season off.
Do you think that we've lost the meaning of Christmas? Or what does Christmas even mean?
I don't know. I mean, to me, it's always just been like about family. It's been a like, I've always said it's like a time for reining it all in. Like, you just get everyone together, kind of like check in with each other, try to see everybody and tell everyone you love them. Like, that's what it means to me. But I don't know.
What do you think of this? So one of the biggest debates in the U.S. especially has been this idea of there being a war on Christmas. And that we need to put the Christ back into the mass. The Christ back in the mass. We need to decide. So basically, this is an idea that is obviously popular with people that are Christian or people that are religious, that they feel like Christmas has gotten to the point where it's not about, Christ and his birthday anymore. And it's more about Santa and the toys and all of that, all of the commercialism involved with the holiday, that we've lost touch with what it's really about. But, there's two sides to this, right? Like, what is your thought on people that get angry and are upset that
I just think it's not that
we're
serious.
not, that we're not, saying Merry Christmas to everyone anymore.
And you go say Merry Christmas. No one's saying you can't. Yeah. No, I don't understand why anyone's upset that like people aren't celebrating Christmas the way that they want to. That's so bizarre to me. God, pick a different problem. How fucking stupid.
Oh, I know, honestly, but there's a lot of people that are legitimately pissed about this and actually forming,
it's a lot of first world
Liberty Council, which is basically a litigation organization related to evangelical Christian values. They believe the true meaning of Christmas is forgotten.
Everyone
and the holiday
loves
is under attack.
Everyone loves Christmas. It is not going away. Trust me. The day that Americans give up Christmas is the day that pigs literally fly. That's not going to happen.
Well, it's like, I think there's this evolution in our culture and in our society that these people just need to accept. I think that's the bottom line, is like, because when you look at this idea of there being a war on Christmas, it goes back to, how things used to be and how, a lot of really conservative, fundamentalist Christian type people would prefer us go back to the way things were, back to old traditions where, everybody basically kind of conformed to the standards of Christianity. I mean, I don't know any other way to put it, is like they're upset because people that choose not to be Christian and choose not to follow Christian values don't, they feel like they don't respect Christmas for what it is, which I think is kind of true. But at the end of the day, I think that everybody can still celebrate Christmas or whatever holiday you celebrate this time of year the way that you want to. I mean, this is a free country, free world. Like, everybody can do what they want.
This is a non-issue. Like,
but people are pissed about it.
Every year people get pissed about it.
And they're saying that public schools won't recognize Christmas anymore, which there have been schools that don't like put up Merry Christmas or even, let teachers say Merry Christmas to their students and stuff. Like, do you think there's a problem with that? Like, do you think that's taking it too far? Or do you think that we should just, we need to continue just being inclusive?
Like, it's school. They can hear happy holidays at school and then come home and hear Merry Christmas from their parents. Why does it fucking matter? I just don't get it. This is such a dumb issue that, like, I can't even really give a opinion on it without like
can't
wanting
give
to laugh.
A fuck
it's
about.
I have zero fucks to give about this. Nothing.
Zero fucks.
Can't muster up a single fuck for this one.
Yeah. What do you guys think about this?
I don't think Christmas is under attack. I think people need to settle the fuck down. There's actual people under attack in this world. You want to talk about under attack?
Well, let's talk about all the people whose actual rights are being taken away. The people that are getting beat up because they're, gay or lesbian. There's a lot bigger issues here. There's still racism going on. Like the fact, like,
well, I just think even if it's a Christian thing and they want to be fighting for a Christian issue, there's plenty of Christian issues. There's plenty of, people like Christians in the world they could be raising money for, or like drawing attention to injustices happening to Christians in the world. I'm sure there are, right? So it's like, why is Christmas on the home front and how people are decorating and doing shit.
Or like, remember
and,
the Starbucks fiasco?
It's so stupid. Honestly, it's good marketing for Starbucks. Like, they're probably like, come on, get mad at us again.
But look, there's no cups this year.
What the fuck?
There's no Christmas cups.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah. They stopped.
Starbucks, you gave in
they got
to the complainers. We like the cups.
I know.
That's stupid. I know. I know.
It's
a hard world out there.
It's horrible. It's really horrible.
2019 is going to be really rough.
But
I just think this is a stupid issue.
It is. It's just people need to realize that we are evolving. We are changing. We are becoming a more inclusive society. And
that's all part of
when you are getting upset
growth.
about a public school or a government building not saying Merry Christmas anymore, not putting up a Christmas tree, whatever, in something related to Christmas, I don't think you can be mad about that.
No.
Because yes, maybe they used to do it, but that was back, it was a different time then. It was a different time. We didn't have the same access to things. It was just different. Like, things have evolved and people want to feel inclusive, and you're excluding people when you're just, especially when you're a government entity or a public school where there's all these different cultures and religions being represented, and you're basically just saying like the Christian one is the right one and is the only one that we should care about. You know?
I think, and it's not schools being like, you're not allowed to say Merry Christmas. I think they're like reminding teachers to be cautious. Like, we have a lot of different religions in our school, just like be inclusive. It's like, it's just so silly. Like, if I wish these people could imagine themselves being the religious minority somewhere and being forced to participate in something, or like celebrate or have a Christmas party when you're not like it's just, it's odd. I think in that sense in schools, just because I've spent time in schools, I've worked, with like under a teacher when I was in high school, and she explained to me like how important it is that they are switching these to like holiday party versus Christmas party. And instead of Halloween, they say fall festival. Like, they try to use as many like all-inclusive terms as possible, which I think is good, but I don't think it's as like, it's not like if you say Merry Christmas in a school, they're going to like take you down. No. It's like so dramatic for people to get mad about this. I think it's just society as a whole, like,
it's just people being
learning.
Sensitive,
like, we've been learning things, people were saying like gay in a really negative sense.
Or
like
saying things about, saying things about African Americans.
But for example, like, people didn't realize that that's like not a good, I guess this is a shitty example for Christmas, but what I'm trying to say is like, over time we learn what is right to say and what's not. And like, it's just natural for that to happen over time. It doesn't mean like someone's trying to steal Christmas. We're just trying to make the world better for everyone and make sure everyone feels respected and included.
Yeah, but we're not prohibiting you from celebrating it the way that you want to.
And I don't think like someone who's like not Christian is gonna like flip out if you say Merry Christmas to them. I'm sure it's happened to them plenty of times. They're not gonna be like, oh my God, I'm offended. It's just like this like is just such a non-issue. I feel like seriously, the people that are complaining about it are people that celebrate Christmas. It's not the people that don't, that are complaining like, I hate when people say Merry Christmas to me.
No.
It's all the people that are making this an issue are the ones are Christians that are celebrating.
Yeah, that's why there's major hypocrisy here, because also like when you're getting mad about, schools, public schools that are taking it out, or like government buildings or whatever, taking, their trees and mangers down and things like that. It's like there's major hypocrisy here, because these same people, these, predominantly Christian individuals are the same people that are like protect the Constitution, protect our rights, protect all these things. But at the same time, they're forgetting that one of the fundamental things of our Constitution is the separation of church and state, and
which is
they do not
skipped.
like a lot, not all, but some do not like that. Do not want to conform to this idea that we shouldn't have the 10 Commandments in front of our courthouse. Like our court should have nothing to do with the 10 Commandments of the Bible, right?
Yeah,
it makes sense. Like, because there should be a separation of religion, all religions, not just Christianity, not Islam, not any of that. There should be the separation of church and state. So I think that's, one of the main support arguments for this war on Christmas is like, we're not warring on Christmas. We're just doing what the Constitution
We're not warring on
says.
Christmas, you guys, okay?
Yeah.
There's no warring going on here.
Yeah, people just get all bent out of shape because like a lot of people that are in this boat get upset when people at stores are saying happy holidays to them instead of like Merry Christmas, which that hasn't happened to me that often. Why do you even
give a fuck? Sometimes they don't say anything to you. Are you offended at that too?
Seriously. Yeah.
What if they said Feliz Navidad? You'd be offended? Like, no. Well, who gives a fuck? It's a holiday, guys. It's not
just
that serious.
Enjoy it. Just enjoy it for what it is for
Drink your peppermint mocha and shut the fuck up. That's all I gotta say.
Good God, man.
I'm so sick of this whole like war on Christmas stuff every year. And then this year was like, oh, people were mad that Rudolph gets bullied in the cartoons. We might need to like change Rudolph. There's no bullying in it. Oh my God. Are we this sensitive?
It's on all fronts. I'm not just...
It's just everyone needs to chill the fuck out. Picking on one side.
This is all sides.
Same, agreed. Everyone just needs to chill the fuck out.
Everybody just needs to take a chill pill, take a puff, and relax.
Take a puff.
Just chill out. We can all coexist. We can all be. We can all just. I'm vibing with this hippie mindset right now of just love and peace and acceptance for all. But it's the truth, man. That's what needs to happen. And what also needs to happen is that I'm super excited about today's last sponsor because they are a app that I am a huge fan of. So New Year's is coming up, and it's that magical time when you set some ambitious goals only to give up after 2 weeks. But what if 2019 was all about slowing down and being mindful? Imagine how many goals you could accomplish then. That's why we're excited to partner with Calm, the #1 app to help you meditate, sleep, and relax. Practices like meditation and prioritizing sleep can leave you feeling more rested, so you have the energy to go out and achieve your goals. Which, guys, if you don't meditate or have never tried meditation before, it is a magical thing. And I say that in the most... I don't even know, real sense of the word, because it really does work. And there are a lot of actual medical benefits to meditation. Better sleep is one, sharper focus, reduce anxiety, stronger immune system, lower blood pressure, greater happiness, and ultimately you're able to reach higher levels of consciousness through meditation. So it's something that is very important to all. And if you have never tried it, this is a perfect opportunity to check out Calm on the App Store.
Excellent app.
5-star reviews, thousands and thousands of reviews. It's a very cool app.
I have used your subscription before.
Have you? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's really cool.
I'm a customer.
So if you head over to calm.com/mile higher, you'll get 25% off a Calm premium subscription.
Dude, that's a deal. Take it up.
Which includes hundreds of hours of programs, including guided meditations on issues like anxiety, stress, and focus, including a brand new meditation each day called the Daily Calm, which is perfect to guide you in building a meditation habit. There are sleep stories, which is one of my favorite things about Calm.
Yes.
Is that they're designed, it's kind of like this podcast. It's designed to help you relax before you doze off. Head to the lavender fields of France with Stephen Fry, or explore New Zealand with Jerome Flynn from Game of Thrones. Or I just listened to one today from Matthew McConaughey himself called Wonder.
No way.
Talking about the mysteries of the universe. And it was stellar.
Dude, I bet it is.
Stellar. Interstellar.
They're so good. They're like, so what I love about these stories, I was actually just thinking about this last night in the bath. Like, for people who are starting meditation, an excellent way to start is with something that's really guided, not just a guided meditation, but a story like this where you're like being coached on what you're picturing. It helps you focus a lot easier. So like if meditation's really hard for you and you find it hard to quiet your brain, start with one of these stories. There's all types of them. Calm has so many options when it comes to meditation.
Well, that's the thing too, is like if you're not able to like actually fully meditate, you can still find mindfulness through these other activities that you can do, such as the sleep stories, because it still allows your mind to leave the reality that you're in and go into this altered state of consciousness in a way where you can fully relax your mind and just let yourself go and let yourself get just completely involved in whatever story you're listening to. And not only that, guys, they've got relaxing soundscapes and videos of just like waterfalls and beautiful images that you can just look at.
They have great nature
and listen
sounds.
to. There's calm music, which I love calm and ambient music, especially for meditation. Because it just helps your mind get into that deep state of mindfulness where you can really go deep within yourself if you allow yourself to. And another cool thing too is like if you're at work and you're stressed out and you're like having a really bad moment or something, like you can pop the Calm app open and do some breathing exercises, which is really helpful actually.
There's some that are like 3 to 5 minutes.
That it'll just stop you and help you go through these breathing exercises, which will completely help you calm down and release that anxiety and stress. So highly, highly recommend it, guys. Take advantage of this offer. Again, for a limited time, Mile Higher listeners get 25% off a Calm premium subscription at calm.com/milehigher. That's CALM.com/milehigher. Get unlimited access to all of Calm's content today at calm.com/milehigher. Give yourself the gift of Calm this New Year. Seriously, it might change your life. I'm telling you, it will. It will literally help you.
Meditations. If you can make one really good resolution, a lot of times people make resolutions that are really hard on themselves, like punishing themselves, things that they do, which is, it's good sometimes, but like give yourself a good resolution. Make some time for yourself. Make a resolution to make time to meditate every day or every other day, or make some type of schedule some type of me time, because I think that's so important. And that's actually on my list for 2019 is to get more meditation, and then I already do. Make it more of a daily thing. I haven't really gotten it down to every single day yet, but I'm getting there.
It really is worth it, and we can't just we can't say enough good things about meditation, and we talk a lot about consciousness and different states of consciousness on this podcast, and in our spirituality episodes we've shared our thoughts and things like that, and I don't think people understand how much meditation affects everything about who we are as a human being, as a spiritual entity. Like meditation is allowing us to get into contact with that inner self, or inner spirit, soul, whatever you want to call it, and tap into potentially even something divine for all we know. So it really is interesting. But I think I want to finish today's episode up with some interesting Christmas crimes.
Christmas crimes.
Yeah, because
always wonderful.
This one is kind of funny though, actually. So on January 5th, 2015, Randy Lang entered a Buffalo Wild Wings in California. He claimed to be Santa Claus and brought with him a duffel bag that allegedly contained 5 football-sized amounts of weed, weighing in at over 2 pounds.
Dude.
He told customers he'd brought presents, placing samples of weed in their hands as they were eating their wings.
That's fucking awesome.
He also filled the employee tip jar with a hefty brick of weed. Unfortunately for Lang, the recipients of his gifts did not react joyously as they should have. Police were immediately called, and then he was charged with marijuana possession and distribution.
The fuck? He was trying to do them a favor.
Seriously.
Damn, he really was like the real fucking Santa MVP right there, and he got nailed. That sucks.
That's the best damn Christmas you could ask for.
I want a brick of weed in my tip jar.
Seriously. I feel like nowadays though, like especially at our local Buffalo Wild Wings would be pumped. They'd be like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
All the servers would be like,
bag.
all right,
Yeah.
We'll take that.
It's probably like normal. They're like, oh, there's weed again. Who wants it?
This one is called Christmas Shopping on Ecstasy. So in Berlin, they are known for having some of the best Christmas markets in the world. Every year, is that true, German folks?
Yes,
Christmas markets.
England,
I think it's kind of a European thing, isn't
European countries have these cute Christmas markets. I'm so jealous. We don't do Christmas markets here. It's a big thing there.
I think it's because I think they take it way more seriously and like, I don't know. You guys let us know that are over in Europe. And
Sarah was just there. Sarah Ray Vargas.
What is
I'm not
it
sure
like?
how many of you guys know her. She's a friend of ours, but she was just in Austria and in Venice. Or no, sorry. Vienna.
Venice.
Sorry, Vienna.
Vienna. I was like,
sorry.
Venice. That's in Italy.
Yeah, but she went to a Christmas market and she showed video of it and it just looked so like busy. Like it was popping. And it was a while ago too. It was like a week or two ago. So it wasn't even that close to Christmas, but it's like a huge thing over there. I'm really jealous. I wish we had Christmas markets. We have like markets in the summer, but no one does markets in the winter, I feel like.
We don't really do like everything in the U.S. Like the difference between.
We like Walmart.
Yeah. The difference between Europe, I feel like, and the U.S. is the amount of giant retail stores. Like in Europe, I feel like you guys don't have as many retail stores and giant like warehouse type depots where you can buy everything you need for everything versus here. You know, like we have a Walmart pretty much every mile or so. There's another Walmart. Like
I hate living
it's
here.
everywhere. Meanwhile, in Europe, you guys still buy like more local and, you know, obviously you still go to retail stores, but you guys still do markets and all that kind of thing. Whenever we go to other countries, we like to go to the like markets and things like that because it's way cooler.
Yeah,
it's way cooler. It's way
fun.
better.
Yeah.
Like quality stuff. So anyway, in 2011, a man dressed as Santa Claus drugged over a dozen people who were at the market. Apparently, he would approach his victims in a cheerful mood. Ho, ho, ho. Most often claiming that he had just become a father and thus was offering free drinks in celebration. They were laced with liquid ecstasy.
Damn, he wants everyone to get hurt. Merry fucking Christmas.
Charles Bloom, chief of Alexanderplatz Christmas Market, offered a €1,000 reward for anyone that could find him. Unfortunately, it didn't lead to an arrest, and a year later, another drugging took place at a Berlin market, bearing similarities to the previous year's spree. So this guy every year gets a few people lit on some liquid ecstasy at the Christmas market. Santa robs KFC in England. God.
Damn.
On the night of December 19, 2015, in Derbyshire, England, a man dressed as Santa climbed through the drive-thru window of a KFC restaurant. KFC Santa stuffed all the money that was in the register into a sack he brought with him and forced staff at knife point to open the store's safe.
Damn.
Derbyshire police offered a pretty unhelpful description, stating the man wore a red hat, red trousers, and a red jacket and had his face covered. That's pretty funny. But, I don't know. Those are just a couple interesting Santa crimes for you. People are taking advantage of Saint Nick, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, I see why.
Using
He's
him as
like, a friendly
disguise.
face. Like when you see a Santa coming up to you, you're like, it reminds me of that woman who, geez, I don't remember any of the names, but she killed another woman wearing a clown suit. Because, like, you wouldn't expect it coming from that. It's a friendly clown.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
The same thing with Santa. You're not going to be suspecting it.
Because everybody's like, oh, Santa's nice. Yeah, is there, like, I don't even think there is, like, a killer Santa
Isn't there something called,
serial
like,
killer.
Krampus or something?
Krampus is like he's like almost a mythical creature that originates from the High German word Krampen. Krampus Night is celebrated on December 5th, the eve of St. Nicholas Day in Austria and other parts of Europe. People dress as Krampus and roam the streets looking for someone to beat with a stick. Which Krampus is an evil-looking dude, half demon, anti-Santa.
Anti-Santa.
It's like a demon, straight up demon.
Yeah, that looks like something out of the Lord of the Rings, honestly. Are we sure that's not?
It's an orc.
Yeah, well, what's in the background? That looks like it's from a movie.
It does kind of look like that. But yeah, so people dress up like Krampus. I think I've seen this on Vice or something, where they were filming all these people dressed up as Krampus as they just like roam around. It stretches back to pre-Christian Alpine traditions. On the preceding evening of the 5th of December, Krampus night, Krampus appears on the street, sometimes accompanying St. Nicholas and sometimes on his own. Krampus visits homes and businesses. I wonder if you guys in Europe see this quite a bit, because you don't see this in the U.S. at all.
Yeah, like I've you
seen anybody dressed up like Krampus here?
No, definitely not. I've heard of this maybe
at
once.
like a haunted house or a haunted attraction.
I don't think we have. Even at that Christmas land I was telling you about that has a haunted house, they don't have it there.
Yeah, I don't think it's even really a
there.
thing here.
Yeah.
But I know it's really popular over in Europe for sure. Because it all kind of goes back to this, like, I think good and evil type thing with Saint Nicholas going all the way back and kind of the religious aspect of it. But,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
But the last thing I was going to ask you about is just like, because it's kind of funny to think about is, do you remember when you stopped believing in Santa, or did you ever not believe in Santa? Please share with us, Kendall.
Well, my mom, it was so funny. I think I remember it so well. Like, I was in the beach in Rhode Island, and my sister and Janelle were there too, and they were playing in the water, and I was up on the beach with my mom, and she was like, "You want to take a walk with me?" And I said yes. And then she was like, "Now that you're 9, you can you can ask me anything you want." And I think she thought I was gonna like ask her about like puberty or something. Well, of course, the first thing that came to my mind was like, is Santa fucking real? And so I asked her, and I wasn't already suspecting it. I was but I was still like in major denial. Like, I remember someone had just mentioned it to me like that summer, one of my neighbors, like, well, how do they do that though? Like, how on earth would all these things show up? And they were stopping believing, so they were like explaining to me how it doesn't make any sense and everything. So I was like,
Once you get,
but I asked her, and she literally turned to me like I just said something crazy and like started shaking my shoulders and was like, "Don't tell your sister and Janelle." And I was like, I remember being like so upset, like, and the Easter Bunny, and and I must have, I was like 9 years old. Figuring out everything was fake. I was so sad because like my parents were into it. I know your parents like barely gave a fuck about it. Some parents like just don't. My parents were so into it. They like had a fake boot, and they went out and got snow and like made Santa footprints in her house. And like my mom one time fake filmed herself, like literally dressed up as Santa and like pretended we got him on film. And so when I found out it was all a lie, I was really fucking mad. I was like kind of mad at them. And then I wanted to tell them.
Do you think that's bad for children to go through that?
I have a whole video on that. There's
Do you think
all
there
this
could be
psychology
on it.
I
was going to say that I was seeing a survey of like people saying that they like have.
It teaches you to like accept lies.
Yeah,
and,
that it's like has a negative effect on your
psyche.
Yeah.
Believe in all this bullshit. Yeah, there's all these like
should we be lying to our children?
But it's like
fake
probably
satisfaction.
Not. I'm sure there's some like negative effects, but like, come on, it's fun. Like, I'm not gonna not give my kids Christmas.
It is fun. The magic of it is like, as a kid, like going to bed, and you're all excited. You can't sleep. You're like, oh god,
he's coming.
There's gonna be a present under the tree.
Me and my sister would get so fucking lit. Like, we used to track him on, NORAD has that tracking thing.
Yeah.
My dad would always pull that up, and sometimes
there's a channel on TV
one
now.
Time, Hillary Duff was hosting it. Timberlake one time did it, like when he was really young. I would just get so excited, like, oh my god, he's in Maryland, like we have to get to sleep soon, he's fucking on his way, like. So I mean, I love that stuff. I can't wait till we have kids and we can do all that with them.
When we won't reveal the truth to our kids the way that I got the truth revealed to me.
Sorry,
I think I was like
skipped you, I forgot.
It's kind of
yours
funny.
was like traumatic.
Very traumatic. I'm still suffering to this day.
Oh my god.
But so it was Christmas morning, which most years it's just me and my brother, and we would get up I think most kids get up at like the crack of dawn, like you get up at like 6:30, sometimes like super early though, and your parents always have to like, get up with you and stuff, because otherwise as a kid you'll just go down there and start ripping shit open.
Yeah, my parents would make us like go in their bedroom. We weren't allowed to go downstairs until my dad checked for reindeer poop. So my dad would go downstairs and do the reindeer poop check, which is really, he's like making coffee, turning on the fireplace, like getting the camera set up.
Prepping the spot.
Yeah.
But no, so what happened with me is I think I was like 10, maybe, I don't remember the exact age. My brother was 6 or 7. But this year we got up and we're like, all right, let's go downstairs. And what we normally do is we like separate all the gifts. You make like a little pile of like, all right, here's my gifts. Yeah. Or Virgo me would be like,
of course,
make a pile for you, pile for. I'd organize it at the tree per person.
Oh my God.
And I'd have it all set up. So my brother and I rushed down there and there's no fucking presents under there. There's nothing. It looks exactly the same as the night before. And my brother and I are just sitting here just devastated, like
Santa fucking skipped us.
Just like upset. Like what happened? Like so confused. God. Just looking at our tree, we're like, oh my God, we're not gonna have Christmas. I think Joel was probably crying. He was just like tearing up, and I was like so sad.
He's a double water sign.
And my parents heard us, and they came out, which I don't even understand how this happened, but they come out and like their faces just dropped, like their mouth just dropped open. Like I just remember them looking so
such
like
no shit
mortified, moment. Like oh shit. Which I don't know what happened, but they apparently went to bed without.
They just forgot
putting
the gifts out.
So what they would do is they would put all the gifts in their closet, and I think my dad would usually come out and like put them under the tree like late at night. I don't know if like they would wait. I think they would wait till really late. Like they would wait till like 12 or 1.
That's what my parents.
My parents would go to bed at like 9, and they'd like wake themselves up at 12 and then go out. Yeah,
my parents. Yeah, we probably weren't asleep till midnight. My parents were partying and shit.
Oh no, I was in bed at like 8. So
my mom every Christmas Eve, like late at night, she'd be like drinking her wine, wrapping presents, and watching the Christmases around the world. Like she liked to watch like Catholic mass and like,
just really, kind of see how it is.
Yeah, she was
everywhere.
Really interested in that. But yeah, I would like try to stay awake as long as I could, but they would wait so late. It must have been like 2 or 3 in the morning. No wonder they were so fucking tired the next morning.
Yeah,
look what we have to look forward to.
Yeah, it's just I'm gonna pull an all-nighter and just.
I'm just gonna lock them in their room so they can't come out and see it.
Lock them in their cages. Yeah.
Just kidding. I'm totally kidding.
But yeah, that was pretty hard way to find out. But it's like, you know, once you find out, you're like, oh, duh.
Yeah.
Stupid me. So.
Oh no, not stupid. See,
wake up to the reality, Josh.
That's. I mean, wow. What'd you say? You were 10?
I think so, yeah, something like that.
Fucking, that's plenty.
I still had plenty of time.
I was the 9, so
I did have mini Christmases where I was like, "Oh, Santa," because like my parents would write on the tags from Santa.
Yeah,
you'd have that too.
Mm-hmm.
They'd be like, "Oh, this gift's from us, but this is from Santa," and you'd be like,
"Dude, it's so funny." Like my dad,
it's the same wrapping
I normally
paper.
knew their handwriting because my parents like have. Well, I mean, I feel like most people know their parents' handwriting, and like some parents will like try to write in like elf, like like curvy.
No, mine
elf.
never got that creative.
No, my parents use the same wrapping paper, so I started catching on to
that.
Yeah,
you're like,
and then my dad writes in all caps. Like he's always written in all caps. His handwriting's completely in all caps for everything, like checks, anything. It's always in all caps, and it was like always all caps. The tags from Santa, like I said. So I always kind of knew. I feel like once you kind of know, you're like, oh yeah, I like didn't want to admit it to myself, but man, well, my jaw hurts really bad, dude.
I know.
God, I am like, my mouth hurts so bad to even talk. It's like hurts to talk. I feel like I wish I could. I was thinking about it. It'd be awesome to have like cold gum. I wish they would make like gum that's like activated and it makes it cold and like. Cause I don't know. I was like, it'd be so awesome to have like ice in between my teeth.
That would actually be good.
God, I have been in rough shape though. I am hoping my wish going into 2019 is that I get answers because I have no idea what I have. Like it could be anything. Today I was looking at lupus. I have a lot of the symptoms of lupus. I know.
Please no.
Well, I know, but I've developed these rashes under my eyes. I don't know if any of you guys have lupus, but it's been there for weeks and I looked at pictures. They look really similar. So I don't know. It's just going to be like, hopefully the year of figuring it out because.
Yeah. And thanks for being patient with us guys with the studio and everything.
And
it's
chill,
just been,
even with like episodes like this.
Today,
I know this wasn't as like serious and interesting as our normal one, but you know.
This wasn't, aliens, but.
I've been in bed. Like I've been literally, this is like me getting up for a few hours to do this. Like, it's not like I'm outside of this, like, living it up, partying, I'm, like, barely, getting through my life, so. Yeah, that's a depressing note to end on, but.
But anyways, guys, I think we're going to wrap things up here. I've got some, my special Christmas cookies to bake.
Yes.
That I do every year that
it's the
are
23rd.
Just so dank.
We make them on the 23rd. They're ugly as fuck. We make ugly as fuck Christmas cookies that taste good.
Really good.
Yeah. So
I gotta get to bacon, but
bacon. Gotta make some bacon.
Gotta make that bacon.
Ooh, this could work as ice.
But we hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. We hope that you guys have a very Merry Christmas, a happy holidays, happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah, happy whatever the fuck-a-do day you celebrate. Whether you just fuck-a-do. Christmas doesn't exist to you. Have a good day. But
have a good day. Peace out.
Thanks for listening, guys. Next week we are going to come back with a year roundup of breakthroughs and discoveries.
What we did last year. You don't want to miss it.
Possibly some predictions for the following year. It's going to be very interesting. We're going to go over some things that you may not.
And we're going to be refreshed and ready, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll be refreshed and ready. We'll be.
Hopefully, I won't be feeling so shitty then.
Yeah, we'll be getting ready for next year, where we are going to just bring you guys the most interesting shit you could ever possibly imagine. You think your minds were blown this year? We're going to just keep going a mile higher every single year. Keep going.
Beep, beep, beep.
Keep bringing it a mile higher.
Up.
But that's it for us. Please rate, review, subscribe, like this. Have a great weekend.
Ho, ho, ho.
Great Christmas.
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
See you next time, guys.